Hello, Covert Lotus here. Maybe you're a DJ, maybe you're a producer, maybe you just bought FL Studio, maybe you want to get into the music industry. I don't know why, but today you're watching my video. And a lot of people who get FL Studio don't know how to use it. I'm gonna give you some tips and tricks and how I run my DAW so that you can run your DAW FL Studio kind of like how I do, and maybe learn something today. So let's get into it. So on the left side over here, I've got my channel rack. The first thing you'll see are that there's patterns set up in here. Now this is a template. These are all sounds that I have put in here right here. So I'm gonna play a song right now that I have. These are all individual MP3s that are ran through different tracks through different processing programs. The programs are easy to find. You can click the middle part of your mouse like this and click on any of the ones you want to use. Right, very simple. So I'm going to go ahead and play and show you a project that I'm working on right now that is not a finished project, but an easy template for me to help you with. So right down here I've got a well-known SpongeBob song. Alright, so that's a project I'm working on. As you can see, this pattern is set up that I've got right here. And so basically, what you would do is you would start a project and you would use samples, or you would make your own sound samples. So the first thing I like to do is, this is a great project. We got an automation clip over here that's automating the frequency of this bass track that I have sliced up right here. So you see I've got a drop, I've got a riser over here, I've got some
Come on, let's fucking bang this ton out.
interesting MP3s. Now to put this all together like that, you want to make it really unique. You want to make every song and every MP3 as unique as you can, and basically how you want it to sound. So this is a great project I'm working on. I'm still working on it, but let's say we're gonna dive into a new one. I'm just gonna hit a new dubstep template. I'm not gonna save any changes. So I'm going to give you a quick, maybe 10-minute course on how to set things up in FL Studio, what plugins to use, give you some links to free samples that I have made, some free presets that I have made, some free just fun things that everybody should have. If you do use FL Studio and you want to learn more, you can always reach out to me. I love learning and I love teaching, and I really hope that this is helpful to you, because a lot of people really don't know how to use this program, but I have been using it for, God, close to 12, 13 years. Since I was probably 15 or 16, I started on this program. A lot of nights up until 3 a.m. just working on this project in my studio, and just trying to make songs sound cool. And a lot of people that don't have music background or don't use this kind of Tool, there's a lot of things that people won't tell you, and there's a lot of things that the internet just won't tell you. You know, you can watch different artists, you know, I'm not going to name drop here, but there's a lot of artists that make things, and they don't really break it down to you that is the most efficient, or you know, tell you all the little shortcuts and best ways to do things. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. Alright, so that's loaded up. So as you can see right here, we have a channel rack, we have a mixer, we've got a surface, and then we've got the arrangement of the playlist over here, this big thing right here. So first off, let's say I want to make a dubstep sound. So I'm going to find a sound. You can use Splice. I've got free sample packs. There's a bunch you can use. Let's say we're going to build a drop. I'm going to use a kick. That sounds good. I'm going to throw it on the kick preset right over here. So that's loaded on there. I just drag and drop. You can press spacebar to play it. Right. Now if you double click on it and tap the MP3 file, you can really hear it. Now what you want to do is click on track and lay it to whichever track you want it to go to, right? So that means that this one is connected to that one, and it's going to play whatever mixers that you have on here. See how these are all empty? We're going to put some stuff on there. So we want this kick to sound, you know, more bassy. The first thing we're going to want to do is get an EQ and really see what the sound is playing, like right here. It gives you a very, very simple. It's mostly in the 61 hertz, so we're going to cut down here, bring this up here, because we really want to isolate that sound.
Okay. Oh, I see that. I use yours all the time, so.
Yeah, that is right. And so we're going to, just tapping on that will change it. You can also change the pitch right here. You can go down an octave right here. The 100 cents in the corner would be down 4 octaves. I'm gonna make it. First thing you want to do is normalize. That basically takes out all the air from it. Let's pitch it up a little bit. That sounds good. And we're gonna run through track 1. Let's run through track 1. We're gonna listen to it. See how it isolates the wave file. Alright, cool. So we're going to run another plugin on here. You know, maybe you don't have all the plugins. I love using OTT. That's my favorite one. You can really make some really cool bassy kind of things on here. So I'm going to run it through OTT as my second plugin on the channel rack. I'm going to turn the depth down. I'm going to push the gain. Sounds louder. Okay, cool. So you've got a kick. So right now we're at 140 BPM. Let's turn up to like 145. Let's make some like punchy zomboy, like dubstepy kind of stuff. Okay, cool. And 145, restretch it, and it's loaded. We're gonna set up a bass pattern here. So this is what we got this Drizzy Drake kick, and we're gonna put it at each step of the bar. Now, you can lay yours out however you want. We're going to just do a kick, 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 kick. Dubstep, normally there's a break in between, so we're going to do offbeats of kicks. Kind of set it up like that. We're going to add a snare. We're going to go to the left, find where your snares are. I'll be supplying everybody who's on the team with all these things. We're going to find a snare somewhere. Okay, here's a snare. Let's see how it sounds. It's barely good. Let's try something good. Let's make a cinematic effect into a snare. That sounds good. So this is going to be our snare. So we're going to stretch this and make it really tiny. And you don't have, this is kind of complex, but it's fun to do. Dubsteppy, right? We're going to play it through track 1 if we want to, through our channel rack, and it would set it up as the same thing with the same 2 OTT, with OTT and parametric EQ. let's give it its own thing and put it on track 2. As you can see, there's already an EQ right here, which is a stereo shaper down here, and a Panomatic. It kind of is this right over here, but it's kind of over here. I think that sounds cool. So we're going to set up a pattern. Off hits with that dubstepy glitch ringtone. Like a ringtone? Yeah, ringtone. Okay, cool. So we've got that. Now we want to make this song really unique. We don't want to just use a full entire loop. Like, I'll give you an example. Let's find a big loop. This is a huge loop right here. We don't want to use that. That's probably, this one right here is probably copyrighted. We want to make it unique and even sound better. Now we can build our own bass lines right here, or we can, splice this one up and make it unique. Let's say we want to splice this one up. Let's cut it, cut it, cut it. This bass is way too high. You need to cut it. So now we've just got those 2 bass lines. Let's bring down the pitch. Let's run it through track 1, where the other one is. And
You're a god.
thank you, Mrs. Lewis. My tutorial. Oh my God. So we're gonna. I like that. So we're gonna have it repeat itself. Now, one thing that most people don't tell you, if you hit the top left of a WAV file on here you were playing with, if you change this one, it's gonna change all of these. So let's say, like, I want to go down a pitch and sound more, better. What you need to do is click on this corner and click Make Unique. Make it unique. And then you also gonna have to turn to emo. You gotta make it cut itself, right? Cut itself, make unique. I promise you that will save project files. Also, when you drag and drop something over here, if you drag and drop it on something, it will change every song in every WAV file on there.
What if I want to be a nonconformist?
What?
What if I want to be a nonconformist?
Well, then, if you want to be a nonconformist, you can't make it. It can cut itself, I guess. Or you don't have to cut it, but you need to, right? So it's going to change everything. So if we're using this original bass line and we lay it up, we're going to make the second one unique. It's going to save it as its own. That way, when you do drag and drop, you're not losing an entire project. All right, so we're gonna let's jumble these up all together so they're just kind of on top of each other and just see how they sound. All right, cool. So very simply, we've got a bass line, we've got a kick, and a chirpy snare. It sounds like park your car, kind of. So this is gonna be like somebody broke into my car song. Oh no. So let's find a hit, like some hi-hats to get it going. Grab a FX, put on a new channel just like we did everything else. We're gonna normalize it, run it through the next track, which is track 3, and we're gonna make this unique. Now, this is what it sounds like. Double clicking on that, clicking this. Sounds like something just happened, like. So I want to be a little bit lower, go down an octave. I have swapped the stereo so it's going out a dual of them. And then I'm going to make another one unique, just like how I did, and layer it on top of each other, and bring the pitch up. And that is called hitting a harmony. When you have 3 that hit a pitch, I'll give you guys, F major with C minor is a harmony. So these are good things to take note of. Doubling up kicks like that can also make it louder at different pitches. Like we doubled it up and had that unique one at a down pitch. It's going to bring the kick a little bit more. And when you drag and drop, it's snapping the grid. It's on this grid, and that's because I've got this setting over here changed. Now, if you put it on none, you put something, it's just going to go wherever you want it to. But if you put it on, let's say like a sixth of a step, you can still kind of have it like line up with each other. Alright, so we got a kind of intro with like a bassy kind of pattern, some chirpy noises. Let's like have it like roll into something that would be considered like, a drop. It's, intros are very big. You can use ambience. So that's something that you could do with sound samples from the left, and then you just put it on the channel board in front of you, and then you can just, make your own patterns that way. What the uniqueness comes from really experimenting with the plugins and seeing what kind of sound you can make and generating your signature sound, which is what you want to go for. I go for, dark, heavy dubstep, some house. So, a lot of my stuff is down an octave, and I've got presets that I always use that are always, that I always use some on some of my songs. So I can show you some of those actually. So let's bring this, rolling bass right here. Now this bass over here, let's have it like roll from like here and use the first bass pattern and cut it up with this, slice tool, and then we're gonna make this one unique. Let's bring it up an octave, and then make another one unique, and then bring that one up an octave, and you see how it's still on track 1. Okay, cool. So we got, kind of riser. So let's see what we can do with this. It's going to be a riser into that. Let's build a song out of this. And we're going to use the same kind of kick snare chirp pattern onto another by hitting Control and dragging and dropping it. And then when you do that, you hit Shift, left click, and then just kind of drag and drop it to duplicate it. Now, you're going to want to add a riser. Risers are super easy to find. You can find them in one-shots. You can find them in any sample pack you buy. There's going to be a riser. So let's add a cool riser on here. This sounds cool. I got a Halloween one. Okay, you can turn that into a riser. Alright, so let's throw this FX over here. Let's listen outside. Normalize it. Let's run through track 4. Let's make it sound really unique. Let's make it into a riser. So for this one, let's use Destructor. Let's see what we can do with it. So I use that plugin. I've got it ran through track 4. You can see over here on my track 4 that it is ran through track 4. We're going to kind of mess with it. Let's go. Do another parametric EQ to see what's going on with it. See how it looks right here. So it's like right here. You want to really isolate that sound. You can this parametric EQ too. There's so many plugins. They all do a lot of things. You can do a lot with this. You don't have to use just those bands. You can use 2. You can cut the high and low passes. There's only your ear can only pick up so much of something, and the reason why you want to do this is because when you do compress it to an MP3 or a WAV file, it's only going to have so much of the sound. So you really want to push your favorite sounds onto them, just to get that high quality, loud dubstepy sound, depending on the track. So I got a little riser right here. Cool. So this is where it ends right here. I'll cut through here with your cut tool at the top. We're gonna double up these by Control Shift, and we're gonna throw it on here with like a rolly bass kind of right here. I'm gonna just set up a kind of rolly like boom boom pew pew pew. And then we're gonna have it roll into a dubsteppy song. So let's generate a bass line. Okay, so I like to use Serum. It's my favorite DAW to use. My favorite, you know. There's so many of these you can use. So I'm gonna use Serum. Let's open this guy up, and see it's over here on the track. We're gonna add it, and we're gonna right-click Piano Roll. Okay. So now this is a pattern. This is pattern 1 up here through the top. If you play on your keyboard, like I've got a mouse right here. Play that. Now, what you've got is you've got a sub. Let's throw it down an octave. You've got a master knob at the top that plays through it. You can make it really square sounds like this for the oscillation shape. Make it like a dubstep sound, really dubstep sound like that. Let's keep it an octave, and let's try to make a custom dubstep sound. So, what I want to do first is draw a square. Make the hold really long. I want to play one note, and I want it to go wah, 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 basically. So, I'm playing F. Just a solid F right now. Okay. Now, let's see what we got in here. I've got some really cool presets on here that I will share with anybody. Let's say I got a monster right here. Let's see how it looks. Okay, so this is LFO1, LFO2, LFO3, LFO4. LFO1, let's drag and drop it and create a bass line off of it. So we're going to replicate the phase of the bass line on it right here. You see how it's moving around like that? That means it's replicating it. So we wanted to tighten it a little bit, and the rate's at 1/4 of a note. We're going to keep it at the bar. So just place it flat bar. Okay, so now we need some bass to it. Let's bring it down an octave at the top left, down 1 octave, down 4 semitones. See how it sounds. So it kind of sounds like an orchestra, but we can fix that very easily. Let's bring the sub. Let's bring it down 1. Bring the level down. Normal. Okay, so let's mess with the wave pattern here. Let's have it sync it with the pattern that's going on down here. And LFO1, LFO2, we want to have this oscillator, OSC part B to kind of phase it also. Let's find something different. Let's see. Let's use Samson. Let's bring it down an octave. Let's bring it down 4 octaves. There we go. That sounds dubsteppy, right? Okay, so you can see the waveform right there on LFO1 and LFO2. It's just generating the phase right now. And it's just playing a flat note. So let's see if we can make it sound more dubsteppy. Alright, so the next part, I'm not satisfied with that. I want it to sound really unique. I only did a few things to this, so let's mess with the rate. Into a really dubsteppy sound. I'm happy with that. Let's bring this up. Let's change the waveform, see what we can come up with. Right there. Pitch down. Add a filter to it. This is a low pass. Let's see it. Let's bring the resonance up so it makes this work. Let's cut it off so we only get the low bypass. Alright. Bring it in unison so there's multiple basses playing. Bring this one up. Bring the phase. Level down. That one sounds space. Pitch down. All right. Let's move the position. There we go. Okay, cool. So that's the position of, you know, where it is on here. You can have it move, you can have it do all kinds of things. Let's see. There we go. That's a dubstep sound right there. LFO3 is gonna right on. LFO3 is gonna put the position and just, you know, randomize it. Right. So that sounds kind of cool. And for the time being, we're gonna use that. There's a lot you can do with this. You can adjust the levels of each individual one. You can mess with this. So that's mostly a bass, so we may need to pitch it up an octave so we can hear it. And blend it. Very, very low semitone. Try Monster 2. Right here. Nice, there we go. So we got one that's playing the bass. Up an octave with three in unison, 3 bars right here. We got Sam Speaks playing its bass, rolling right here. We're gonna roll it back over here. Cool. All right. So let's mess with the filter. Make sure it sounds perfect. Raise its in. Bring some drive up, see what happens. Bring the girth with some fatness. We need a fat bass for our dubstep song. That's right. So now it's on B. So that makes it metallic sounding. There we go. Make it play through the keyboard. Alright, cool. Now we got a dubstep sound. So let's make it sound better. Add some hyper dimension to it. Let's bring it up to see how it sounds. Size of the dimensions, how many are in unison. Increase the rate. Cool. Add a flanger to it if you want. See how it sounds with the phaser. Sounds with the chorus. Sounds good. Let's add a compressor for that. Threshold low so it screams. Nice. Okay, so now we got a pretty dubstep, easy to make, you know, pattern. Super easy, made it in 10 minutes. We're gonna go back to our project on the piano roll and put it on here. And so let's make a pattern. Like, okay, so we got this pattern over here from the piano roll. Let's see, we've got the original project. I've got this kind of area that I'm, you know, wanting to introduce the serum baseline I just made out of thin air, and we're gonna put the pattern on there, pattern 1, which is, you know, right here. So we're gonna paste this pattern, and let's see how it sounds. Right. So, and at this point, you want to play to the bass pattern you got set up. You want to make it, you know, sound good, basically. So, gotta experiment, see where it is. Play around with the sound. Sounds nasty. So we're gonna bring it out, and that's gonna, you know, the hit's gonna come in, and we're gonna play like a little pattern right here. Bring the pitch down a little bit. Make this, you know, line to the grid, and make a pattern out of it. and that fits your drum. I'm gonna double them all, see how they sound. Gotta really find the right sound for it, you know, because that's a very choppy bass. Really cool. I can go down. Draw a flower over here for the lotuses. Control Shift. Let's just repeat that pattern. See what happens. Let's get rid of the spacing, so it just plays that pattern all throughout the song. That chirp is so just offsetting. I'm going to pitch it down, bring volume down a little bit. Okay, it's something, but you know, it's a start, and that's what you need. So from here, you know, let's pattern 1. Let's throw it on track 6. Let's add some different kind of plugins to it, make it sound really unique. Let's say, you know, let's add some limiters to it, or we can add this sort of a construction. It's really cool. I really like using the structure because it adds, you know, 4 different kind of plugins in one. You can really mess with that filter that you see right here on Serum, right where my pattern is, just because it's, you know, super easy to use right here, and you can just see if we can make it sound better on the main pattern song. Octaves too high. Bring it down an octave like how I had it. Now, I like that kind of, you know, it sounds a little grainy. It sounds kind of cool, but it's definitely a old school dubstep. So I'm going to change the rate right here. From here, we can build a drop off of this. We can change each individual track. We can run it through filters to give it that uprising and go from there. Next thing I would do is, you know, add snares to it, play with what I got, add some samples to it, and yeah. Thank you for everybody who tuned in to watching me play around on FL Studio, and hopefully you got some tips or picked up some information. Big shout out to everybody on label Lotus. I will continue to do this if we get some positive reviews and if people really want to hear and learn how to, you know, make some music. Show some music that I'm working on right now. You don't have to use a dubstep template. As you can see on here, there's a lot going on, but there's really not that much. You know, this is just...
Come on, let's fucking bang this ton out.
That's just the start of a song. You know, that's basically what I showed you how to do and what you can do. Thanks for tuning in. See you guys next time. Peace.